Welcome everybody to Daily Census Explained, where we explain the story in more detail, but in a fun way, so you can know the backstory and how the inspiration came for each episode and each chapter. Thank you guys for listening.
Welcome back, everyone, to Daily Census Explained. We're now on the final chapter, chapter 22, The Reckoning. So this episode picks up 8 months after Scotty's arrest. And still no one has come to his defense. Johnny's the only one who's defended him in that time. And Scotty appreciates that Johnny has stood up for him. He knows about it, and he appreciates
We
it.
had time to think about it now.
Yeah.
Time to think about it.
He doesn't know that he didn't come to him first, but it wouldn't have made any difference. So it wouldn't have changed a thing.
It wouldn't.
So,
He's running. Get out of here now, boo. Run, follow me. Let's skip out of here.
right. I know. Are they going to go on the run like Thelma and Louise or
let's
something?
skip. Going to San Francisco.
So, and what he goes through, though, what he's been through in this 8 months is really not only seeing how unjust the system was at the hospital, but how unjust the whole legal system is, in that, the judge has pretty much already presumed him innocent or guilty and has not given him the benefit of the doubt at all. Everyone really seems to just believe that he is the guilty party, and there's a line in here where he says, to himself, when you're black, you're always guilty before you prove yourself innocent, as opposed to what is the way it's supposed to be. And so he, unfortunately, is not only had a hard lesson in how companies work, but in how the country works.
And then now he got to adjust to prison life, jail. So he learned to stay to himself and all that. But then in the meantime, the hospitals got their accreditation back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Everything's back to normal. Everybody's working again. I mean, nobody's laid off. They got the ICUs open, so it's business as usual with them. They got the person they needed, so the board of directors let everything go back to normal.
Right.
Along with Scotty found guilty.
Yep. And
so they got the money to pay the judges.
Right.
That's nothing.
And to pay for really great lawyers and
just pay the judge. I mean, everybody know how that goes. Donate.
Yeah. Exactly.
Most of the judges are doctors. I mean, most of them are clergymen anyway. I got the priest license, reverend license, whatever. So you just pay them through that. Donate to their church.
Right.
So then you ain't got to pay them. It's not a bribery if you donate to a church. That's how it works.
And another loophole.
Yeah, you can get your ministry license 6 months online.
I got mine in a day online.
See what I mean?
Yeah, a friend of mine wanted me to marry him, and I just went online and filled it out, and they were like, "Okay, we're sending you the card."
See?
Yeah.
And then boom, my son got his shit. So yeah, it's easily to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you pay him.
And what's in this episode, they never granted him bail.
Right.
Denied bail.
Yeah.
So they were going to burn him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in jail. He got a rough go of it. Everybody who likes baby killers. They think you're a baby killer.
Well, at least they kept him.
Stayed to himself.
They didn't put him in general
They isolated him.
population.
Yeah, they isolated him.
Yeah, it's true.
PC.
If he was in Gen Pop, he'd probably be dead already.
Yeah,
so.
somebody would have got him. At least got him.
Yeah.
Something would happen to him. So PC was the best way to go for him. Plus, I don't think Scotty built like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
He can't go out there with the wolves.
Mm-mm.
I mean.
No, I watched Oz. I know. So.
But after all that time and being by himself, I bet he wished he would have listened to Johnny about all
Nicole
those times.
when they told him to leave.
Yeah. And it even says in here, Scotty was no longer naive, but unfortunately, as many people learn too late, that he learned how high the deck was stacked against him, and that no matter what he did, in this case, had he left, sure, he might have run into the same type of thing somewhere else, but he also had a good chance.
Not to that extent. Yeah.
His life is over.
Yeah. So
they putting 11 murders on him?
Yeah.
Come on. You're a serial killer.
And that's the thing, is even if you are even if you're innocent and even if you go through the trial and a jury finds you innocent, your life and your career are still
no one's
pretty well
gonna hire you
destroyed.
again.
That's exactly, because people think maybe you just got off and that you're still guilty. So yeah, so already, even though he still has some faith that he might be able to be redeemed, there's nothing he can really do. So, and again, we said that the judge had already made up his mind, and what he really learned is that no matter how successful or well-spoken or well-educated you are, that to some people you're
Still
just
got a
another.
ceiling.
You're what?
Still a ceiling.
Yep.
Or how they'll let you go.
And-
Unless you do your own thing.
And just looking at you, they're just looking at him as another black criminal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no matter how high he had gotten to, and the fact that all of the people who convicted in this were black, I'm sure.
Well,
Again,
not in the beginning. Not the ICU girls in NICU, they wasn't. But everybody else.
I thought they were for some reason.
Nah, they wasn't.
Okay.
Everybody else. If you look at you saw the
picture.
video, yeah, they were all white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the rest of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So it really didn't matter. It's just the way the serial killer saw opportunity.
Yeah.
She didn't. That serial killer didn't care what color you were.
Well, and speaking of another opportunity, there was another death at the hospital under suspicious circumstances while he's in jail. And he thinks, hey, this is going to vindicate me because it couldn't have been me. I'm in jail. So
Exactly, and that should have got him out.
Right.
Murder happened. He's 8 months in jail. Now, how could he do that?
Yeah. At least should have cast a doubt.
At least gave him a bond.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give him anything.
But yeah, that doesn't help him out at all. So
Yeah, he thought that would be his saving grace.
Yeah, when the lawyer told him, "Hey, man, they still gonna charge you for it."
right. So so he's stuck in there still, but he keeps hearing in his head this whistling, and he keeps thinking back. There's something about this whistle that just keeps bothering him.
Now he's doing a flashback.
Yeah.
He got time to think. So he's like, man, what is connections with all of these murders?
Who
Yeah.
could it have been?
Who would have had access besides me? I could have, but I wasn't there. I was with me, and he thought about it.
Yeah.
Every time he got interrupted with something, every time something happened, it was always that whistle, and someone always asked him to sign for a package.
Right.
So once he put two and two together, he realized exactly who the killer was.
Does he realize it? Does
Yes.
he know? He knows.
But it didn't matter because they were never going to let him out.
Right. And who's going to believe him?
Exactly.
Because, sweet little old lady.
Yeah.
And-
when he realized it was Tracy Kikes the whole time, he knew he wasn't going to get out because the lawyer already told him they still going to charge you with the charges.
Right.
So he did the only thing he thought he could do. Killed himself.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty grim ending that,
I didn't want to make it a happy ending
yeah.
like most American movies are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like this. Realistically, if he's stuck like that, he's not getting out.
Right.
So I made him, he killed himself.
Yeah.
Suicide.
Because even if he gets out, it's going to be many years later. And
Yeah, he won't be the same guy.
no.
If he makes it out of that, no way.
Yeah.
So it was just best to write him off. Plus, I wasn't going to bring him back for the next book. So
Yeah.
let's just write him off now.
And I think the ending is more impactful this way, too, because, again, as we talked about the reasons that people were after him, it really drives that point home. So,
he's like, he's no way he could win. You know what? Fuck it.
yeah.
I'd rather go on my own terms.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Like you said, he had the hands, the knowledge to save people. He had the knowledge
to
to
take life,
himself.
too. But then let's get to the volunteers.
Yeah, this is where some of the volunteers are talking at the hospital, and Tracy Kites is there with them, or she overhears that they're talking about some of the things that happen at the hospital, and she sort of just volunteers. She steps into the conversation and starts talking about the preemie babies back in the NICU that died a couple years ago, and she says, they're better off because they were suffering. They weren't, they were.
They shouldn't have been here anyway.
Yeah.
They were premature. God wasn't ready for them yet. So most serial killers got in their mind that they helping anyway.
Right.
And in her mind, that's what she thinks, that she did all these people a favor.
Yeah.
And then once the time when you go to hospitals and go to the front lobby, it's the little old ladies there working at the gift shop and all that. And all they do is
Coffee.
gossip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she just happened to be there with the other old ladies. the volunteers, and heard them talking about it. The lady, I don't want to work here no more. I don't feel safe. And she looked at them like, what are you talking about? And then they bring up all the incidents. So she justifies basically why she killed them all.
Yeah.
For one reason or the other.
Right. Because they bring up that first one, and and she mentions about the babies, and they're kind of okay.
What the fuck is wrong with her? Yeah.
And then they say, okay, so that's true, but what about the other deaths? And she's like, oh well, some of those kids were brain dead, and they wouldn't want to live
like that. Yeah.
Being deformed, and same thing about the guy in the
burn
unit. So she's basically
giving
she's getting
herself more
away.
and more upset all the time.
Yeah.
But those ladies,
angry.
The little old ladies don't want to get her any more upset, so they just agree. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Just leave, and she get more pissed off, and F you guys, and take off her badge and throw it in the damn trash.
Yeah.
Then she walks down the ramp, and like every hospital got that entrance ramp.
Right.
She walks down, and that's the funny part is she pulls out her car keys and gets in a fucking car.
Yep. She's had a car all along.
A whole time. She never needed a bus pass. Mm-hmm. She slept there because that was the easy way to kill these people.
Yep.
She knew where to go in at. And then she gets in her car, cranks on None But a Hound Dog, and whistle her way through.
And that's what she was whistling the whole time. Was
crying all the time. Ain't nothing but a hound dog. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that's how the second book starts, with that image right there.
Yes.
She reminisces driving out of town, looking at her rearview mirror, and reminisce how she fucking became this way. And that's how we start too, which will be out next month.
So at the end, she's driving out of the city.
Yeah, she's leaving. She's not coming back.
Yeah.
She's been doing this for years.
Going to different hospitals.
She's been killing people for years. She's an expert serial. That's why she didn't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
She know what she was doing.
Yeah.
She know when to do it, when not to do it.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a great final image that she throws her best volunteer award out the window.
Fuck this reward. She didn't care about that reward not once. Mm-hmm. She did all she had to do, and she didn't get caught.
Yeah.
Somebody else caught it. She's been doing this for years. She's an old lady.
Yeah.
She's been killing people for years. The ones that can't fight back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You remember volunteers, they have, she's in the mailroom, so she
had access everywhere. Her badge goes everywhere.
Yes.
It was the perfect serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, when I worked at the hospital years ago, I'm like, man, who would be the perfect serial killer? I'm looking at the little old ladies in the front. I'm like, that lady want to work in the mailroom.
Yeah.
She can go anywhere. No one pays attention. She don't clock in. She don't clock out. We don't pay her. She can leave when she want to leave.
And the mail delivery people really have a pass to everything?
Your badge, because remember, you got to go to every department and sign for the packages.
Wow.
You got to sign for the business cards, anything. Anything certified mail, you got to sign for. Mm-hmm. And she gonna go directly to them. She can go in admin. She can go anywhere.
Interesting. Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
Well, it definitely reminds me of, and throughout history, there have been a number of cases of like nurses who killed patients and things, but it was a nice twist that it was not another medical staff. That she was a volunteer in the mailroom. Mm-hmm. So, because of course we're looking at all these other people.
Because if she just worked in ICU,
yeah,
you could have figured out, because got to be one nurses there.
Right.
But being in the mailroom, she can go anywhere.
Yeah, and remember they fired everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, laid everybody off, so she was still killing.
Right. Right, 'cause she's a volunteer. Why
get
rid of her?
Why you don't pay her? Nobody pays attention. She's a little old lady no one paid attention to. Mm-hmm. She was there the whole time.
Yeah, and she was so sweet.
There you go.
She
until you pissed her off.
Well, there's that.
And she almost showed it one time, but she automatically relaxed again.
Right.
Got back into a little sweet old lady face. No one would pay attention to her. Mm-hmm. Because they should have figured out then, her supervisor, why is she sleeping here all the time?
Right.
And bringing a sleeping bag. She was planning on sleeping here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave her that $500 gift card for nothing. Probably used it for something else.
Tossed it out the window.
But she's like, I don't need this shit. I got a car. But they didn't know that. It was perfect.
So you were saying that in Daily Census 2, it's going to give us... It's a prequel in many ways,
yes,
or a
how she
flashback
became that
first.
way. Yes.
So is it going to go all the way back to childhood?
Yes, until she was 6 years old, all the way up until she's 22.
Okay, so it's going to give us how she gets there and how she gets started.
Man,
and
her childhood and everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll see how she's a serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last one will be, she's going to die. but you're gonna have people that copycat killers,
Right.
and it never stops.
Yeah. She started a whole thing.
Oh yeah, because somebody agrees with what she did.
Right.
Well, she really was doing them a favor.
And that happens a lot with serial killers.
Mercy killing.
Yeah, is they not only agree, but they also want the attention too.
Yeah, in her mind she thinks she's doing a mercy killing.
Right.
And you'll see why she feels that way too in the second book.
And
Nice.
when she left St. Mark's, she didn't leave on bad terms. when
True.
she drove
And
off.
plus, you're a volunteer; she can just go.
Yeah.
Right.
She don't have to clock in or clock out. She's
When they do her
she's coming to help you.
check, when they do her background check, there's nothing tarnished on there.
And when you're a
So she would do
volunteer,
it.
you can give any name.
Right.
She's a little old lady who's gonna look it up.
Right. So you're right. She could still be under the same name, or she could just choose a whole nother name and
Who knows
personality.
Tracy Cakes even her real name?
Right. That's true. That's
See?
true. We don't know who she was when she
You
started.
won't know till the next one. It'll be out next month.
Well, I look very forward to the next book and to talking more about it. So, well, thank you everyone for listening and joining us for all of these. And I think there's more for you all to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for giving us the opportunity to explain Daily Census. And we'd also like to thank, we have Daily Census out on audiobook. We'd like to thank the voice actors, or Mr. Vernon Hargrave Jr., myself, Deidre Boyd, Mr. Kirk Harpson Garcia, Miss Diamond Varner, Endia Boyd, Julian Varner, and Sanel Sims. We appreciate all the hard work that you put into making this a success. And again, we appreciate all of you joining us for the explained version of Daily Census. So if you could just please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel, and it means a lot to us.